every city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress pants. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Keen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave about. The Longhorns only good at a steakhouse. Had y'all like number 3, I was like, no way. Y'all lost to Oklahoma, which means y'all just okay. And Washington not important. Y'all be some ducks acting like that's.
Yes, yes, yes. The Tiny Hat CEO has returned to the Renegade Roast. How everybody doing? Shout out to my beautiful co-host, the FSU Harley Quinn, again rocking her prom dress. How you doing, Jen?
Wow, I am doing good, and thank you for calling it a prom dress because it's actually a skirt.
A skirt? You know, got a skirt hiked up that high? Look at you. You going strapless out here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm scared of you, Margot Robbie. All right,
What?
and then we want to bring in our special guest here from the Double Fries podcast, Mr. Richie Barnes. How you doing, baby?
Good. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm excited. Looking forward to tonight.
Oh yes, oh yes. We're about to run down on some people, so we're gonna have us a good time today. I just wanted to start off by something on the timeline that pissed me off, something serious, because again, all of these college football fans running their mouths, they're irrelevant as hell. And they got something to say about Florida State. So you know we're going to have to call them out on this. So I want to say, what the hell is up with Tennessee? Explain this to me. Who the hell is Tennessee? All right. When is the last time Tennessee was worth talking about? When is the last time Tennessee did anything that was relevant in college football? What has Tennessee done to actually have the Florida State name in their mouths? I don't understand these people. So I saw some Barstool Tennessee timeline lurker or whoever the hell this person is drop the gif of Renegade and Osceola falling down in the middle of the field, but they conveniently forgot to mention that they not only got back up and spiked that spear with the flame on the end, but then they ran down and put belt to ass on them boys on the field anyway. So somebody explain to me, one of y'all explain to me what the hell is going on with Tennessee and why they think that they should be mentioned or talked about at all in college football.
I'm gonna let Richie go because I'm gonna go last.
Yeah, I know. Jen, living in Tennessee, has some thoughts about that. But man, it's that SEC mentality where they consider Alabama a rival, but they chant SEC when Alabama wins a national title in football. It's that same mentality that goes across that entire league that is just spreading like wildfire. And Tennessee fans, in my interactions, and we haven't played them, in over 20 years in a sport that matters that I'm aware of. So I haven't had many interactions with them, but I know they are just insufferable. They're like the Miami fans of the SEC who haven't been relevant in 2 decades, but continue to run their mouths nonstop. They love talking about how their baseball program has taken off. They were considered one of the best teams in college baseball ever in 2022. And you know who shut them up? Link Jarrett. And Friday night in Omaha, watch out because Link Jarrett's coming for that ass again. And I think we're going to have ourselves a good time. And if we do, that Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, it's going to be a lot of fun for Florida State fans, especially on that Bird app.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Twitter will definitely be in its bag that night. I can tell you that right now.
Because they think they got gifts. I guarantee you Florida State Twitter might have our own civil wars every once in a while, but when we come together against someone, it's over, and the creativity is through the roof. I cannot wait to see that happen if Florida State can knock off Tennessee, the number 1 seed in the College World Series.
They don't want these problems.
Yeah, and especially because, those fans are probably drinking their moonshine really early in the day. So they'll be asleep by the time probably that game's over anyway. They need to go inside. I don't know what they really do for fun up in the mountains of Tennessee. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what they
some
do.
things.
They be on top of
I
stuff
mean,
all the time.
A lot of time with family.
Yeah, a lot of time with family and sisters
we know.
and brothers. We know that.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, so I am so excited to make fun of Tennessee. There's nothing more fun to me than making fun of that school. And as Richie said, they are the Miami Hurricanes of the SEC. There is no question. And they sit there and cheer for their rivals, which is so beta to me. It's just, I don't understand that philosophy. You will never catch me going, go Clemson, go Florida, go
Never.
Miami. Like
Never.
never. I don't care who they play. I don't care. By the way, when Florida and Tennessee play, I am so confused. The only funny part for me is that when Tennessee wins, and they actually do sometimes, or when they lose to Florida, I get to listen to Vol calls. Vol calls is my favorite thing in the world, and I get to listen to it all the time because they lose all the time. So it's so fun. It's amazing listening to these people who sit around and worried about Tennessee Vol sports that hasn't done a damn thing. Name me in basketball, name me in football, and women's basketball, guys, that ship sailed a long time ago. So we're talking sports that actually move the needle here. No offense to the women, and I can say that because I'm a woman. So I'm just saying, your softball lost. Your baseball is about to lose. Your basketball lost. Can't make it past the Elite Eight unless they can't even bribe somebody to get them to do that. Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
They're so garbage. I can't deal with Tennessee fans. Like the only thing of relevance that they've done ever in my eyes is hand out McDonald's bags full of cash, and that was it. They were the ones who jump started all of this NIL out here in the open. So I'm proud of them. Let's give a shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers for handing out money to players in the locker room. Oh, wait a minute, no. SMU did that first back in the 80s. So y'all can't even get that right.
Reno. Yeah.
Like what are y'all doing?
Why are you using McDonald's bags? Like here in Tennessee, like use some Chick-fil-A bags or something. Make it less obvious. Like what are
They're worthless. Tennessee is worth it. And here's the wild part about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Richie, because not only do they consider Bama as a rival, but when the SEC decided that they were going to go to this new format and they had to preserve the rivalries from across the aisle, Tennessee lobbied to get Bama. They lobbied to get Bama. Like, are you serious? So they have to be the second most delusional fan base out here in college football, behind the Hurrishames of Coral Gable. Because why would you lobby to get Alabama when you haven't beaten them at any point we're talking about? Your team's been wild ass. Your coaching is okay. I mean, Pruitt, I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but I mean, all right. But what have they been doing? What have you done that's worth talking about? The last time I was looking this up, the last time Tennessee was worth talking about, I think I was in like 7th grade back in the late 90s. I think Tupac or Biggie had only died like 2 years prior to that. Like, this is what y'all doing? This is the last time y'all were relevant? Like, we were in the heyday of hip hop.
Didn't Miami win a championship? Or
like what are y'all doing?
More recently than Tennessee? I mean,
they
that's
haven't won a
hurt.
division. They haven't won a conference. They haven't been worth mentioning when they're one of those teams in the middle of the SEC that they give rankings to prop up Bama, LSU, Georgia, and all of the actual teams that win titles over there. All right. They run their mouths, but you are an also ran. You are an honorable mention ass program. You can't even beat a division that has Florida in it. Like y'all literally play Florida and you struggle. You struggle. Your hopes and dreams every college football season is maybe we can give Bama a fight. Maybe we can stop Florida, who's plebeian as fuck, from doing something. Maybe we can upset somebody else. All right. They're worse than Miami. I honestly would probably say they're the NC State of the SEC, because you have no shot at winning. You haven't been relevant at all. And you have the audacity to want to run your mouth about what other solid programs are doing when you probably the second best team. You ain't even the second best team in their division. They're like the fourth best team in their division.
I'd say six or seven.
I can't stand them.
But
I can't stand
what I will say is that they lost to Florida last year. I'll leave that there.
And it wasn't really a close game either.
No.
The game was never really in doubt. Their fans remind me of me. I'm probably one of the biggest FSU basketball fans that does any FSU podcast out there. When I was in school, we knew we weren't going to win anything, but if we beat Duke or Carolina, that was our season. That when my freshman year, we beat Florida coming off their first national title, and we stormed the court like we just won a national title. That was like Tennessee when they beat Alabama and ripped out the goalpost and threw it in the river. Like that's what their fan base has been reduced to. Just moments in time, not championships, not even conference championships. Okay, baseball, you might have got one, but does anyone think they're going to win in Omaha? They could. I don't think they will. They don't even have the best odds as the number 1 seed. Texas A&M has the best odds of any SEC school out in Omaha right now. It's hilarious to me because I think back those days when we beat Duke or Carolina in basketball, and that made my whole season. Like, okay, yeah, we might go to the NIT and lose in the first round, but hey, we beat Duke. That's kind of what Tennessee football fans are about, and it just seems like that it embodies their entire fan base.
Yeah, and I really thought they had something. God, I can't say that. I thought Heupel may have had something. I don't know now. I really don't know with that team because they continue to. I mean, you lose to a team like Florida last year. I don't really know what else to say at that point. I think you are who you are. You are the Miami of the SEC. That's really it. Like Miami makes those losses all the time. They can't win anything, right? It's the same. Like they out recruit, they outspend, they pay people in McDonald's bags. Miami had Nevin Shapiro on drug money hoes on yachts, and they're winning 7 games. It's the same program. You cannot. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't. And their fans are the exact same.
Terrible. No, they're not, because the Tennessee fans actually show up to the games every week.
That's true. They
actually support.
So do Nebraska fans.
That is a very fair point. That is a very fair point. They actually go. But have you ever been to Knoxville?
Never.
I have.
Never.
So you know why they show up to games?
Yes.
There's literally nothing else to do.
I did
go stare at other people up in the mountains.
I had to spend 2 weeks at the UTMC, University of Tennessee Medical Center, for work back in 2012-ish. And the biggest thing that was next to me was like a wing place, like a Wild Wing Cafe. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Nothing else. Nothing. I did get a tour of the stadium, and the lady who gave me the tour was very nice. So I'll give her credit for that. But yeah, Knoxville, it's depressing, like Buffalo almost, just driving around.
Yeah. There's nothing to do. I mean, even if you went like during game days, my sister went there. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, she didn't graduate from there, but that's fine. Why do I have to throw that shade? I don't know. But you go there, and I remember I went for the Tennessee Georgia game, and she's a student, and she didn't care really about football, and she was like, here, take my student tickets. And I was like, well, I'm not wearing that god awful orange. I'm not a prisoner. So I put on a red turtleneck, and I went into the student section at the University of Tennessee.
That's terrible.
And I just waved, and but the Georgia fans couldn't have been nicer. It was so fun. And then when they won like 54-10 or whatever it was they used to do all the time to them, it was even more fun, and then you couldn't go to Kroger, like our grocery store, without hearing the stupid Rocky Top. Like, just stop.
That's another one. Like, I can't stand that damn song. That song is almost as bad as that trash ass song that they play at Oklahoma all the time. I can't stand that song, or Clemson's fight song either. They can go Rocky flop their asses back to mediocrity. I'm sick of Tennessee. That whole song is ass. The colors are ass. They look like a whole bunch of Dijon mustard and mayo mixed together on a bunch of white bread. Like, go sit your ass down. The girls look like a bunch of Hills Have Eyes characters. Like, y'all got like 18 teeth combined. Like, get your ass out of the conversation. Until y'all do something, they go sit down. So I want to hear nothing out of none of these sorry.
You know what I say about the girls at the University of Tennessee? If they ever show any that are good looking actually on camera, guess where they got busted from? Memphis. Guarantee it. Because Knoxville women look like bears. You're welcome.
Oh, not bears, not Yogi and Boo
I
Boo out
say
here.
that I'm a woman. I can say it's look. I mean, you can. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Everything I say is true except for the things that are false. You're welcome.
That sounds like some real shit. So Tennessee, shut your ass up until you do something. Don't nobody want to hear nothing out of y'all. Just go back to being the spoiler of the SEC, even though y'all don't ever spoil shit. Y'all are worthless. Just keep our names out your mouth. Keep our names out your mouth. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
You got
All right.
lucky in your national championship. One thing that you did do in '98, we all know y'all got lucky. So just stop.
We ain't even got to relive that. They can go kick rocks.
Oh, but the Tennessee fans will clip it, and like I just needed to put that in there. You got lucky, and I will say that with my whole damn chest. You lost. You won by 6 or 7 against a third stringer. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, the best quarterback they ever had couldn't even beat Florida. So, like, we just did that with a third string quarterback last season. So,
and their best quarterback they ever had, they treated like shit so bad he didn't even want to be a coach at the university anymore. So there you go.
Trash asses. All right. Enough with plebeians. Actually, no. Let's move from one plebeian to another. I saw something else on the timeline where one of these University of Coral Gables Hurrishames beat writers or coaches or somebody tried to say that Cam Ward reminds him of one Patrick Mahomes. That boy is sipping the Delulu juice. That boy has obviously never crossed the bridge over there down there in Coral Gables. I don't know what they are smoking on down there. It might be peyote. They might be doing ayahuasca with Joe Rogan. I don't know what they got going on down there. But the delusion is real. All right, so I want to get y'all thoughts on Cam Ward being the next Patrick Mahomes.
So it was their QB coach. So I get it. He's got to talk his guy up a little bit, right? Hype him up. And, you know, he had a good camp or a good spring. But, man, could you imagine the reaction if Tony Tokars came out and said, man, DJ reminds me a lot of Jameis Winston after this spring. Like, people would laugh at us, and rightfully so.
Or Tom Brady. Like, what? Like, Patrick Mahomes is, like, on a Tom Brady level, though, isn't it? Like, what?
Yes. Yeah, he's on that trajectory. And it's just hilarious. A guy that's never really won any accolades in Cam Ward, a guy who didn't want to come back to college, but didn't like his draft grade enough that he was forced to go take the money from Miami. If he had any real interest from the NFL to be a potential starter or even a starter in 2 or 3 years, would have gone to the NFL draft. People told him, and good for his camp for giving him some good advice to go back to college, because he would have, faded out of the NFL really quickly. We're talking about a quarterback with over 40 fumbles in his career. That is just insane to me. 14 last year alone. This is the guy you're going to compare to Pat Mahomes, who even at Texas Tech was really freaking good. And clearly the draft showed that people, the NFL, people that know these GMs, these scouts saw this guy's good. Cam Ward, they thought, nah, probably go back to college for another year, kid.
And I'm glad you said that, because I went back and I, of course, went to go holler at some of my Georgia Tech stat nerds. After I've been real good with them ever since they ran down on Miami last year. And they dropped me some knowledge. They dropped some stats on me. So I wanted to kind of run down some of these just to compare their last years to see what we're talking about here. So Pat Mahomes in his final year at Texas Tech, 12 games, 5,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. All right, quarterback rating of 157 flat.
Those are Heisman numbers right there.
All right, they're facts. These are you need to be going in the first round level numbers. That's what we're talking about there. Now let's take a look at Cam Ward, his last season, 3,700 yards passing. I don't even need to say nothing else after that. All right, this dude had over almost 2,000 yards more than you did throwing the ball around. But if we really want to get into the nitty gritty, you had 25 touchdowns, 7 picks, and you had a 140 rating. So your last year, the year that supposedly put you on the map to have all of these other teams, trying to chase after you, you didn't even come close. You didn't even come close. What the hell is he seeing? The only comparison or the only similarity that I've seen between them is both of them got awkward shaped heads, so it looked better when they have mohawks. That's it. Ain't nothing else to compare between you and Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he can run. Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball. He accurate. He's not turning the ball over. All right. The only thing he got going for him is he looked like one of them upside down misshapen gourds that you have on Thanksgiving so that you can carve them joints up and put them out there for the rest of the neighborhood to think that you're festive. Your head look weird. That's the only thing that's going about you. Patrick Mahomes' head look weird too, but at least he got the decency to put a mohawk on that joint so you can't tell. So what are you doing out here? I don't know what they smoking down there. Their quarterback coach is wild. He's wild garbage. I don't believe nothing coming out of their coach's mouths. Because didn't they 4'0" tall O-line coach tell us that he was going to chop his legs off if their offensive line was bad? He couldn't chop his legs off because he already 4'0". Like, get the hell out of here. No, they are all smoking some shit down there. And I don't know what they got going on.
All I know is they need to puff pass because I would love it. Like, we all need to be on that type of high at some point in our life. But I feel like with them, maybe are they thinking of Patrick Mahomes, like, who was a good quarterback in college that still didn't win anything, as far as Heisman's or championships? I get it. His numbers were great. He got drafted high. Are they comparing Cam Ward to, like, still not going to win an ACC championship and still not going to compete for a national championship because that's who Miami is? Is that what you're comparing Patrick Mahomes to?
Gotta be.
Then okay. Then I get that comparison. Otherwise, yeah, I you're going to have to pass. You're going to have to pass whatever it is you're on because I ain't seen it. If you're telling me it's the Patrick Mahomes that wasn't up for a Heisman, didn't make a bowl game, didn't win a national championship. Okay, that does sound like Miami then. Sure.
And I don't know how long. I don't know how long that quarterback coach has been there, but if he came with Mario, then that would make a lot of sense why he would think that, because you got to think Tyler Van Dyke was thought of as a legitimate first-round talent when Mario got there, and look what happened to him since Mario got there. So that makes a ton of sense if that's the same guy who was there with Mario since day one, because they ruined that guy who was one of the best freshmen in the ACC. We can admit this now. I tried to deny it at the time, but looking back, yeah, that guy had all the talent in the world. A lot of people saying a lot of good things about him. So I'd be hard-pressed to see Cam Ward progressing and developing under this current coaching staff.
Really?
I think he has a lot of talent and it could be a very good college quarterback, but not under this staff.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, I think the bad grade from the NFL, and I think everybody knows he wanted to go to Ohio State. I'm not going to say this again on the show. It's just true. I don't know why Ohio State picked Will Howard over Cam Ward. Don't ask. I don't know. I'd like to find out, though, at some point, and I think I can, by the way. I'm just saying, I think there is something off there that he got a bad NFL, or maybe, I don't know. Again, maybe he did want to go play for Mario as a quarterback who wanted to go high in the draft in the NFL.
You got jokes tonight.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room. But my guess would be, choosing that staff after not the best NFL grade. Again, everything I say is true except for the things that are false. Is questionable to me. It's a little weird. I think you would choose, again, a staff that didn't almost ruin Justin Herbert and ruin.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how do you, if you're somebody who wants to go to the league, right? Your whole goal is to get to the league. You said, you know what? They didn't give me the draft grade that I wanted, so I'm going to go back to college. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scour the landscape of the NCAA, and I'm going to find the best place for me to go with somebody who has coached quarterbacks, got them to the league, showed the development, and you landed on Mario Cristobal. That's where you landed. Mario Cristobal. Really? his decision making was already terrible on the field. So I don't feel bad for him at all. You made poor decisions on the field. You making poor decisions after you didn't go to the league, and now we're gonna get to see you make poor decisions again. Because you know what? It's gonna be fantastic when he throws an interception or a late game pick six or a late game fumble, and Miami was up by 3 with 2 minutes left, and he was still throwing the ball around instead of kneeling the ball out. And then he's gonna throw a pick, and we're gonna get to watch some other sorry ass also ran team run them out of the stadium. It's gonna be fantastic. Fantastic.
I mean, Bud ending Twitter that day when the EA Sports thing came out with the victory formation was so
it's not
amazing. The only thing that I hate more is that it wasn't me that got to it first. Like, I really hate that. You go ahead, Richie. What you think?
Yeah, no, it's just, again, that staff, they've proven. And Mario, listen, he's an incredible recruiter, and they, you know, their NIL isn't as bad as some Florida State fans want to make it out to be. They have some money if they have the right investors, you know, interested. But his game day coaching has been an issue everywhere he's been. You know, we're talking about a man who he didn't get fired from FIU and
right,
and makes his way over to Oregon and has one of the most prototypical NFL quarterbacks in the entire country at his disposal, and does absolutely nothing with him. Like, oh, they won the Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever, Pac-0 now, doesn't matter. But like, he just failed to do anything of substance with them, and he gets to Miami, and like Middle Tennessee State is throwing 99-yard touchdowns against them. Like, it's just ridiculous. And if his running back against Georgia Tech last year didn't have like 98 yards or whatever it was, he probably does take the knee. But he's cocky, and he's like, no, let's go ahead and get him to 100 yards. There you go. And then we all see the Hail Mary. That was their Jacksonville State moment. Like, he is just a terrible game day coach, but he's a great salesman, and he is great friends with who's the booster, the
Ruiz
wallet. Yeah,
Ruiz. Life Wallet, 5 cents a share. Master General.
They're like brother-in-laws or something like that, and so he vouched for him. They could have made a much better hire with the money they threw around on that one, because he got hired at like $8 million a year back when $8 million a year was a lot of money. It's probably average now.
We all know that Lane Kiffin would have walked on broken glass to get to a Florida job.
And Lane Kiffin would have been a nightmare at Miami, because he would have won them a national title.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we can go ahead and keep Lane out of the state of Florida. I want him nowhere near the state.
No,
I think you're going to be upset next year, but that's fine.
Nowhere near this state. All right, I want him nowhere down here. But it's hilarious to me. So you get the shoe salesman who's walking around with holes in his loafers, his red bottoms. Yeah, his red bottoms. He looked like Fred Flintstone right now. The bottom of his feet are just dirty. They're rock hard. You need to get him some Aveeno. Go take an Epsom salt dip, something like that, to make sure that his feet don't look like that. And you pick that guy to lead you to the promised land when you want to get to the league. And I will applaud them on this. They are like first ballot Hall of Fame level liars down there in Coral Gables.
Yeah.
First ballot Hall of Fame level liars. They lie about everything. They lie about how great they are in off season. They lie about their recruiting. They lie about their coaching. Every year is their year. They're going to be back for the 20th year in a row. I am so fantastically happy. I can't wait for the season to start, because I think they're going to lose to Florida first game of the year. Mm-hmm. And when they lose that game, I am going to be so ecstatic. You will not be able to talk me down. All right. I might walk around wearing orange and green.
You and I are going to go live on Instagram. That's what we're going to do.
Facts.
Like live on Instagram all over the world. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not kidding. Like,
I can't wait for them to lose that game. It's going to be hilarious.
Richie, what do you think? You think they're going to lose that game?
Oh, who you picking, Richie?
I actually like UF at home. I think they got screwed. I think they got screwed out of not having a night game, but that, you know,
I agree.
Miami and UF, they only have themselves to blame for the performance the past 2 years.
Yep.
But I think best case scenario for any Florida State fan is that UF wins that game. Miami wins that game. No,
yeah.
Like,
we want Miami to win to make our strength of schedule up. But they always ruin our strength of schedule anyway.
Yeah. But and here's the thing: the win-win about it is, say UF does win, okay, those last 5 games they're going to lose 4 of them at least, and probably all 5. So it's just a perfect scenario. I don't want Mario fired, and I don't want Billy fired, but one of them, if not both, is going to get fired, probably before November.
Oof.
I mean, we got to go with Billy though, right?
They could start strong though. That's the thing. There's the front half of their schedule is easy. It's those last 5 games that you look at, and they're probably double-digit dogs in every single game.
Yeah, but is that investigation a little bit? Do you think that whole like lawsuit and stuff is maybe for Florida to say, let's see how the season goes? We may just
it gives them cause. I'll say that. It gives them cause.
Yeah.
Riverboat Billy can go kick rocks, and we gonna take this opportunity to transition over to them. I was able to actually find out, and I did some digging and some research. I just wanted to let y'all know I'm gonna break some news here. I found out what me and the Tiny Hat FBI squad, the CIA, we were able to find out exactly what the pitch that Riverboat Billy has been using out here on the trail. All right, this is how they've been going. So, and I can quote this, and I will quote because I'm gonna break this news here for y'all. It says, quote, "Come to Florida where we can develop you into police custody and into the transfer portal," because that's all they do over there. Anything going on in that whole city up there is wild garbage. Okay, you go to that school, you have a 95% chance of being in cuffs, of being at the police station, or having to transfer your ass out of there because you're an upstanding young citizen and you don't want to be involved with their nonsense. All right. You don't want nobody showing up at your little sister house with police stings going on. Okay. You don't want a water polo coach trying to sleep in the bed next to you on away games. Like, you don't want nobody sending messages to nobody out here in your family. All right. We already know, figured this out. That school up there is a cesspool of criminal activity that needs to be stopped by anybody. All right. I'm tired of that team up there. That whole thing is a shit show, and I am loving it. It is fantastic. There's nothing good in Shamesville, and we are seeing it right now. That team is going through the motions, and I can't wait. They win that game against Miami, and then I want them to lose every other game on their schedule.
And they will. They will.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Yeah. I cannot wait.
Maybe not to Tennessee, though. Maybe not to Tennessee, because that seems to be like kind of a breaking point for that team, right? I mean, Tennessee lost to the 4-8 Gators. They lost to the 4-8 Gators, and then we're messaging my phone while Florida State was down to Auburn. And then guess what? Guess what happened? Guess what happened?
What happened?
I mean, we won the national championship, and I've never heard back from one Tennessee fan off all those messages they sent, which, by the way, I have a thing, guys. I don't talk shit during games. Ever. That's bad luck. It's bad juju. The football gods don't like it. You have to keep quiet. You want to talk shit during games, you gotta, you have to win if you're going to do it, right? And then when you lose, you better never do it again. And then they actually called my ex-husband because we were married at the time. This was, 2013. But like, I'm sitting there, they were blowing up my phone during the 2013 game, right? I decided I'm going to put my phone down, whatever. After the end of the game, boy, was I on it. They were calling and tattling to who is now my ex-husband. And he goes, "How do you think this is going to go for you? Like, do you not think tattling is going to make her worse? Because she's next level. And I was next level. And they still never, ever responded to that message. I mean,
yeah, if we're gonna dunk on Tennessee one more time, that 4-8 Gators team they lost to, people forget that Georgia Southern did not complete a single forward pass.
A single pass.
Not a single forward pass. They attempted some, couldn't do it, and still beat them in the swamp. Man, that's imagine
wild. That being your legacy.
That's got to be. Time out. Hold up. That's got to be on the short list of worst losses in Big 3 history.
That's worse than Jacksonville State. I'm sorry.
Oh, hands down. They beat you without competing a forward pass. What is this? The 40s? I think Teddy Roosevelt was still alive when the last time that shit happened to somebody.
Sounds
What?
like a Notre Dame game to me, but
What?
that's fine.
Yeah.
What?
And that's the game that they had their two offensive linemen blocking each other that went viral.
Yes.
like just everything.
Oh, it was
Like, I'm sorry,
amazing.
they should be more embarrassed for that loss than Cumberland was for losing to Georgia Tech 222-0 back in the day.
Oh my God, them boys got ran down on literally by a team that didn't even complete a forward pass.
Yes, and then
Come
the
on,
ESPN
dog.
analyst couldn't even stop laughing at the end. Like it was everything. It was Christmas. It's everything. And just like getting to make fun of Tennessee for me is Christmas, guys. If you don't know, it's fun.
Oh my God, that's funny. It's got wait. So it's the Georgia Southern game. Is that one? No, sorry. Was it Georgia State? It was Georgia State.
Southern.
Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern. There's Jacksonville State, which I don't even think that's there. Middle Tennessee State hitting Miami for them 98-yard bombs is always going to be up there for me. Miami losing to FIU when they were talking wild garbage. Yeah. It wasn't even at home. I'm pretty sure they lost to the Marlins Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. And not only did they lose the game, they got beat up at halftime in the middle of the field.
And dude was doing that trucking, he was dancing,
In North Carolina's not a bad loss, but the way they ran all over Miami a couple of years ago, like their players, they did not want to tackle them.
Yeah, like North Carolina does that to Miami all the time. And I fully believe that Mac Brown is a Florida State plant. I'm sorry. I think this is, at this point, like how in the world are you ranked number 5 in the COVID year, lose to Florida State and beat the shit out of Miami in the same year? Like just...
Hey, shout out to Mac Brown.
This is a plant.
Florida State was bad that year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a plant. Like, you are a plant. Like, it's fine. I appreciate it. It's cool.
I love it. Listen, Mac Brown gets them Lawyers kids ready for one game a season, and that's to eliminate the Miami Hurrishames from any type of contention, anything going on in this conference.
He's still got that Noel in his blood, man.
He got it. I love it.
That's why I say he's the plant.
Love it. Oh man! So once again, I want to let everybody know that if Riverboat Billy and them boys show up to your child's house and they trying to recruit you, they will be letting you know that they are going to develop you into police custody because that's all they can do up there. That whole team is trash. It's a cesspool of nonsense going on.
And they'll promise you $13 million and not make good on it.
What about the pool situations over there? Don't get in the pool with the coach at Florida. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ladies, listen to me. Don't get into the pool with the Florida head coach. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh man. Listen, if he ever gets fired, he can go up there to Urban Meyer's spot and they can see what they can do up there in one of the bars.
Yeah, they can do the bars in Columbus.
Oh man, they'll love that. All right. I'm done talking about that mess. All right. So let's talk about the team that we taken down today. Team that really hasn't done anything bad to me per se, but for some reason, we going over yet another team in the Ass Coast Conference, another member that's the reason that we're trying to get out of this raggedy ass conference and go on to greener pastures. So today we're going to talk about the Louisville Cardinals. The Louisville Cardinals. All right. Middle of the road team. Every once in a while, they'll step up and just piss us off or piss a Clemson off or do something like that. Outside of Lamar Jackson, they ain't got nothing. So we can give them credit for that. But let's just run down.
They did take Teddy Bridgewater from Miami, though. I will give them credit for that.
Ooh, cool.
It was funny when it happened.
Louisville, ACC member since 2013, 11 years, 0 ACC titles. The one time they even almost got a division title, they had to share it with Clemson, and they actually lost the tiebreaker. So they don't even get credit for that.
And they lost Kentucky the last game of the year to send us to the Orange Bowl after they beat us by 40.
The epitome of bottom of the barrel ass motherfuckers. 4-6 versus FSU since 2013, 6-18 versus FSU all time. We've been putting belt to ass to them forever. They are a waste of our time. But the latest loss that they took to us, of course, was that absolute defensive masterpiece that we put on them boys in the ACC title game last year. And that's about the only thing that I really want to talk about when it comes to them. We stay putting belt to ass to y'all. And the fact that y'all are trash and we had that beautiful defensive game against y'all. The committee held that against us. You were ranked 15. Y'all are so plebeian that us beating you when you ranked actually hurt us and stopped us from getting into the actual college football playoff last year. Coming out game for Braden Fisk. I'm always going to give credit to y'all for allowing the rest of the nation to see the greatness that was that Florida State D-line, getting both of them boys over there on the LA Rams. I'm definitely getting all my Rams gear this year. But you're trash. You're trash. Lost to Kentucky. You're on a 5-game losing streak versus Kentucky. You're the second best team in your state. That's terrible. You've done nothing for the ACC. You gave us Lamar Jackson, and outside of that, you've done nothing for us. You gave us the return of Bobby Petrino after he was up there with his my neck, my back routine going on. But outside of that, what good are you? What good is Louisville? So I'm going to defer to my beautiful co-host here.
I'm going to let Richie go first because I got the history here in Memphis. So I'm going to let Richie go.
I need it. Richie, what do you feel? How do you feel about the Louisville Cardinals and their trash baggery?
First, shout out to your point. They got Braden Fisk paid. They got Jared Verse paid more than he would have. They got Renardo Green paid. They got our whole defense paid in the NFL draft. And my goodness, they probably would not have got in, right? But all they had to do was beat Kentucky and a Florida State team with a freshman quarterback, and they would have at least been in the conversation, and they couldn't do that. I was in Charlotte that night. It was not a very exciting game, to be honest, but looking back now, I've watched it a few more times, just seeing that defense performance, to your point, ever since Jordan Travis went down, that defense was next level. And that's what makes me so upset that we did not get into the playoff, because I don't know if we would have won a national title with Brock or, if they hadn't transferred. But that defense would have been a fourth quarter game, no matter who they played. There was no truly dominant team in that upper echelon of groups. And, I tend to believe even if Jordan didn't get hurt, we win that game, they leave us out. I'm just a believer in the conspiracy as far as that goes. But Louisville had everything to play for, everything in front of them. They choke against the biggest rival. Their only ACC title game appearance, they lose. And by the way, Trent Forrest says, "What's up, Jordan Nora?"
Jen, the floor is yours. Tell us what you see up there when it comes to these Louisville fans.
Oh, I have such a long history with Louisville fans, and the one thing I will acknowledge about Louisville is the way I can tell someone Southern is the way they say Louisville. Okay, I will say that. I will give you that. If you say it properly, then you were born in the South and you are Southern. Okay, if you don't, that's it. That's how I know. I will say that. But the other thing I will say is, as a Memphian, I grew up, born and raised in Memphis. We used to play get out our car keys, at you guys during football games. Hey, goodbye at the University of Memphis. Okay. This is not a real, legendary team. It's not a scary team. Your mascot is a bird. That's a cardinal, really. I mean, it's not frightening. My 40-year-old loves cardinals. He thinks they're cute. Nobody is scared. And you don't win anything. Come at me with Lamar Jackson. I got you. Did you win a championship? Show me your hardware. What is it? Because it ain't an ACC championship that you guys begged to get into in this shitty league. Again, how in the world do some of these teams not win this crappy ass league while Florida State was down for so long? Clemson couldn't win anything after the 80s until Florida State, the clipping caused them to start winning. We all know how that went. And that's, you're nobodies. Oh God. I don't even know what to say. I lost to Tate Rodemaker once at home. Lost to Brock Glenn. Okay, I love me some Brock. Look, I am not hating on Brock. I'm a Memphis girl. Look, I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is a third string quarterback comes in and you still can't even keep up.
And they had a top. Did they have a top 15 offense in the country?
Yes. Yes.
Couldn't do a damn thing.
So-
like, what did y'all do?
You can't do anything. And yet all these fans, every time you say something about Florida State, Louisville fans come underneath me, 63-3. I'm like, you lost to that team. You lost to that same quarterback. That quarterback played you. How good are you? What is that? Where's the make it make sense? Where's the logic? Louisville, I need you to step it up. You paid for all your team in December, and then they've now all transferred somewhere else because then checks didn't clear. I mean, your creepy ass Papa John's checks don't clear.
Oh.
And if you can't find me a bigger creep than Papa John, I don't know what to say. Like that. Look, we all know what happened with Papa. Whatever. I'm not going into it. I'm just saying that is creepy. All of y'all with your little birds and your pizza and your sad coaches that always lose and sit on the sidelines and eat the pizza. It's funny and it's fun for us, but maybe win something, do something else. Stop trying to be a spoiler, AKA Tennessee, and start trying to build something because you're not building anything. Your fan base is really bad on their clapbacks. It's really sad. Don't post 63-3 to me anymore. Because then I'm just going to respond, you lost to 63-3.
Belt to ass. I'm looking at their schedule this year. Austin Peay, that's a win. Jacksonville State, that's a win. Georgia Tech, y'all should win that game. They're going to lose to Notre Dame. They're going to lose to SMU.
Well, they beat Notre Dame pretty well last year. That's why I'm saying, who the hell is Notre Dame?
Yeah, they're going. Notre Dame's. We can talk about Notre Dame. I'm sick of that. We can talk about they sorry asses, but I won't. We putting belt to ass to them this year too. That's another squad that I can't stand. But we'll get to them. We'll get to them. SMU, I think SMU will probably put them down. Virginia, they play the Hurrishames. They got Boston College, Clemson, Stanford, Pittsburgh, and Kentucky. So, I mean,
they'll lose to Kentucky.
They could have a winning season. I could see them having a winning season, but it ain't gonna get them nowhere. All right, you dodged the Florida State bullet this year. You dodged the bullet of Florida State this year. So they should be a team that should be talking about winning this conference. But yet again, they're going to do like they always do. They're going to be pure ass, bouncing on camera. So we might as well call them the Louisville Twerkers. They ain't going to do nothing. And they're going to be another middle-of-the-road ACC team. They'll probably jump up to be ranked at some point. They'll fall out, and then they'll be used against us when they say, well, you guys haven't played anybody, your conference. But that's because middle-of-the-road ass, middling shitbag teams like this one don't help us. Like, what do they do to actually help us? Outside of that year that we played Lamar Jackson and he beat us like a kid in Kmart touching stuff that we can't pay for.
Yeah, but the year before that, remember Dalvin Cook was supposed to be hurt, and we did the same thing to them.
Right. Like, what has Louisville done to help Florida State and Clemson carry this conference?
Here's the difference between Louisville and Florida State is them coming to the ACC was a significant moment for their program. They could not have been happier. Florida State here 10 years later, we want out. We're suing the ACC. We're spending over $100 billion to get out of this league. And Louisville is scared to death joining the ACC and other programs like your Wake Forest and Boston College and Virginia Techs of the world who won't have a landing spot because they know if we leave, the conference is done. That's what Louisville is. Florida State is looking for bigger and better things. I personally think it's the Big Ten. I think they have an offer. I just think there's a lot of legal red tape that needs to be cleared up. But Louisville, this is the best it gets, the ACC, a conference most of us have hated for years. You know, we come to this conference and don't lose a game for a couple seasons until, until the Virginia game with work done. That bullshit happened. You know, it's just that's what Louisville is. And look, I went to Louisville for a bachelor party last year. Awesome city. If you're just talking cities, amazing. Did the Bourbon Trail, but their fans think they're they're not as obnoxious as most fan bases, like a Tennessee, Jen. But yeah. They definitely think more highly of themselves than they are. You know, they're the one with like the smallest house in a nice neighborhood and think they're, part of the elite class. That's not them. Like you're in the ACC and you're going to be stuck. You'll
Or
be
they
lucky.
live in like the rich person's garage and act like
Yeah.
they live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, like you're in the ACC. Be happy. The Big 12 might take you. I think it'd be wise just from a basketball standpoint because they both spend the money. That's one thing I'll say about Louisville. They will spend that money to accomplish absolutely nothing.
All of that KFC money, all the Papa John's
Yeah.
money, all the Yum Yum Brands money. That's what y'all doing. They've been a waste of time. They are yet another team, and I'm glad you said that. They came from, I believe, what was it, the Big East? They came from the Big East. They were a part of that Miami, Virginia Tech mashup that they brought over.
Syracuse, UConn.
They came over purely for basketball, and then they decided to try to dip their toes in this football water. They're trash. I ain't got time for them. They're trash. You have brought no value to the ACC. As a matter of fact, you are yet another motherfucker coming to the cookout empty-handed. You trying to walk out with
bag of ice,
with a to-go plate. They didn't even bring no ice. What ice did you bring? They ain't got no bling up there.
They didn't bring the cups.
They didn't even bring cups. Y'all red and white like a solo cup, but y'all couldn't even bring that over here to us. No. What did you bring? All right, you said they got the Bourbon Trail up there. I ain't see no alcohol coming out of them. Y'all ain't no party. What good are y'all doing? Y'all coming to the party, pooping all over the place. You're a bunch of birds shitting on top of a nice car. Like, get your asses out of here. You've done nothing for us. You're making our lives hard. Just go ahead and vote to get us up out the paint so that y'all can go back to mediocrity, back to Conference USA where you belong. Go play FAU. Go play Troy. Go play Indiana, Ball State.
Or lose to Memphis again.
Right. That's what you could do. Speaking of Ball State, your biggest donor, Papa John, he didn't even go to Louisville. He went to Ball State. So the number one person that we could talk about donating to your rat ass program didn't even go to your rat ass program. That's how trash y'all are. I'm sick of them. I don't like anything about Louisville. They make my life hard. And I really just wanted to say thank you to Louisville for nothing. You're a big part of the reason why we're getting the hell out of this shitty ass conference. And y'all
enjoy
need
the
to do
Big
the
12.
right thing. Yeah, no, they can't even go to the Big 12. They can't even go over
they
there.
are.
Listen, I would love to see it. I would love to see Miami go over there. I would love to see.
Yeah, so they can all get beat up by UCF every year.
Oh, dude,
like, let's do it.
I'd pay so much money to watch UCF play Miami.
Great.
What? Orlando versus Miami? Oh, I'm down here. They would riot down here if they lost to UCF. Riot.
Well, they've done the FAU, FIU whole train. Why not?
They would riot down here. You think Mario catching the heat if they don't win 10 games this year? Let him lose to UCF. Oh, that would be fan-fucking-tastic. That would be fantastic.
I don't know if we'll get the chance to because, I think that would probably happen in like 2 years if they went. And do we think Mario would be there in 2 years? I don't know.
They ain't going to pay to get rid of him. They're going to keep him there. The fans will want him out, but they're going to keep him there. He got too much money backing him. They ain't going to get rid of him.
Just tying all these talking points together, Miami is basically Tennessee now, where they're just going to keep spending money to hire and fire coach after coach. They thought they brought a Miami guy in. Very rarely it worked out with Michigan with them bringing Harbaugh, bringing a Michigan man in, right? That rarely works out if you hire someone because they are an alum of your school. Miami did it, and they're in that deadly cycle of hiring and firing. And that's what I was scared of with Florida State after, Mike's first season and a half. I'm like, damn, we're going to have to fire him and bring someone else in. Luckily, he proved me wrong because I was one of his biggest critics. And now Alabama is sitting here. They wanted Mike Norvell. At least they seriously considered him. So Mike, again, he proved it. Jen, I'm not surprised you were a big fan. My wife is a huge fan of Mike Norvell, more for how he looks than probably his coaching acumen. But
what is this?
That's okay.
Is it all the wives? Because she's like, who is that? Oh, he's not. I'm like, yo, I can't even watch the game in peace because you're over here looking at my coach. Like, get your shit right.
Yeah, I know. We went to the booster event in Orlando a few months ago, and it was pretty cool. He shook they had the photo line. He shook every guy's hand and gave every lady a hug. And we're walking back to our table. My wife's like, "Ooh, he smelled like victory." I was like, "Babe, calm down."
Mike almost snatched your old lady.
he probably could have, if we're really honest.
Hey, Mike say he got fire out here. Mike say he's winning on the field and off the field. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
My wife, I won't call her out because I don't know how she'd feel, but there's another lady who's very active in FSU Twitter, and her and my wife text all the time about Mike, and now apparently Link Jarrett's the guy. They're like, man, he looks good too. We got some good looking coaches.
Man, they gotta add me to that group chat. Tell them to add me to that group chat. I might have some things for them.
Yeah, when you guys play in your Vanderpump pod, we'll do that.
Ooh.
No. No.
I can do whatever I want on my own. And Vanderpump is over, and I'm very confused as to what to do with my regular life. You know, I don't. Y'all should be more sympathetic to me about that. I feel like I'm kind of being left to dry with that.
No. See,
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Jen be talking reckless about Mike too. Jen's got some thoughts about what she want to do to Mike, and I don't want her. I ain't got time for this. Look at her face. Look at her face right now.
I don't think that's her style.
That's her style. Don't let her lie to you. That's her style. If he was like 5 inches taller, she would run down on him.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would. Yeah, for sure. There we go.
Oh,
I'm a little tall guy. I'm a little tall. We all know this. It's a running joke.
Get it together. All right. Anything else y'all want to run down on in the Big Three? Anything that y'all want to run down on in college football? I want to give a shout out to Momo in the chat. He said something in the chat that made me laugh. He said, "Oh wait, we got Stanford and SMU now. The ACC will rise from the ashes." That's such a shitty ass thing to do. How you gonna get Stanford, SMU, and who was the other one?
Cal.
Stanford, SMU, and Cal, and you were like, "Yeah, that'll show them.
Yeah, that'll save us."
Come on, dog. This what we doing?
Well, don't we all know that was like Notre Dame doing that with Stanford and Cal? I mean, that's Notre Dame. That's not. SMU was probably someone smart in the ACC. To be fair, I think the SMU ad is okay.
Hey, nobody can say SMU is not fully committed to football. They will spend more money than anybody, except for probably Florida State or Clemson. They are all in. It was a desperation ad, but if you're going to add someone, that's not a bad ad.
At least somebody who gonna bring something to the table, unlike Louisville, sorry ass. We don't want none of your shakaroni pizzas. Like, take that shit back to the house. I've had your stuffed crust before. It's trash. Like, go get it. I'd rather go to Domino's. You ain't doing nothing for us. A waste of our time. What is Miami bringing to the table? But a whole bunch of loud mouths and nothing. That's what Miami bringing to the table. You're not bringing eyeballs. Oh, we got 5 rings. Yeah, back when shit was still on Laserdisc. Like, don't nobody give a damn about what y'all got going on down there. What is Virginia Tech bringing to the table? They came over with you. What are they doing? They can't even bring over turkeys on Thanksgiving.
They've at least won it.
Who?
Virginia Tech's at least won the ACC.
But still, what have you done for me lately? A waste of my time. A waste of my time. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Players, that's all you did.
Like, they've got nothing. So all of these Big East schools that came over here, Syracuse.
Oh God,
Syracuse. So, I got to stop you real quick. My dad was from Syracuse, New York, and a diehard Orange fan. Carmelo Anthony might be one of my favorite non-Florida State basketball players of all time in college.
Oh,
but he brought shit to the conference. He brought nothing.
Brought literally nothing. All right, literally nothing.
I think their new coaching hire might do pretty
run
well.
Down on up there too. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. That's the stepping stone
I think he's gonna. It's a stepping stone job. That's what I'm saying. It's a stepping stone job, but I think he's gonna get a big job after that one. That's what I would say.
A waste of time. This is just another middle of the road program.
Syracuse and Pitt came in the same year. That's right.
And what has Pitt done?
They actually put Jameis on the map because they made that their first ACC game was in Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis, there wasn't a pass dropped in that game, and there was a rain delay. Do y'all not remember that? There was a rain delay.
I was at the game. Yes.
It was so amazing just to watch Jameis like in that first game. That like just
25 to 27, 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna confess
Nick
something.
O'Leary. Oh man.
I'm gonna confess something real quick. I watched I read everything there was to read about that team prior to that 2013 season, and I was so nervous that we were going to go up there and lose to Pitt that first game. I was like, oh, please don't let this brother come out here and be trash. I can't handle this. I need this team to be good. And then he went out there and did that. And when I say there was everybody and their mama couldn't tell me that I wasn't on the Florida State team, I wasn't on the field. I was walking around my FSU polo on. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't an offensive tackle. Like, I was out here talking wild garbage after that game. But I was so nervous for that one. I was like, damn, please don't go up here to Pitt.
Well, they went up Pitt went up 7-0 to start the game, and I'm like, oh shit. And then things start happening. The defense
looked good still a little bit. I know that like they got that first touchdown in, but like at the beginning, like I say this because I watched that game on like Mother's Day and on my birthday, like as my own gift to myself, you know? And I'm only saying, like, they did get that first touchdown in, and like when you saw it happen, it wasn't as egregious as you think it is.
No.
It's like, it's kind of like 2 missed tackles by freshmen. I can't, you know, I'm just saying when they went up 7-0, I was like you. I was like going, oh God, here we go, another year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Here we go. And then it just turned on, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm right here.
Then I'm checking my phone at halftime, and I pull up the ESPN app and I look at Jameis's stats. I'm like, holy shit! One of those was an actual catch by Kenny Shaw that was ruled incomplete. That should have been a catch. And I'm like, this guy's he's for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was
shout out to Kenny. Shout out to Kenny.
Yeah, shout out Kenny.
I'm pretty sure you're listening, Kenny. I'm pretty sure you're listening.
Yeah, and if you're in Orlando or Central Florida, Kenny is having a golf tournament at Black Bear in Mount Dora in August. Check out his website. It goes through his foundation. I will be there. It's going to be an awesome time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love Ross Shaw. He's the man. Love him. Yeah. Oh man,
you know us. We love us some Kenny Shaw over here.
That's my boy there. That one game though, I was scared of shit. And then we ran down on Nevada. Was it Nevada the next week, or was it Idaho? It was one of those.
No, it was Nevada, and that's when Carlos Williams, his first career carry as running back, he goes like 60 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, bust they
and the Syracuse game while they were playing hangman, and then got beat up by the media because they weren't into it. And it's like they were up by 50 points. What do you want them to do?
Yeah,
I went to 9 games that season. That was the most fun I've ever had.
Oh, that season was awesome. And that's what I need Mike. I need Mike to get back to that this year. I want Mike hanging 80s on everybody. That's what I need Mike to do. I don't care if we up by 28 points and it's the third quarter. I need to see starters out there for the third and half of the fourth. I want us slinging the ball downfield.
Flea flickers, reverse, double reverse.
I want all of it. I want all of it. I want to see some wildcat run with third and fourth string running backs. Like, I need him running down up here. I want to see double reverses, throwing it to the quarterback on the opposite side of the field. I need some blitz packages. He needs to throw the bomb out there every play in the fourth quarter.
Honestly, I think this year, I think you'll get it. Oh, sorry, Richie. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Richie.
I was just saying, give me a fake punt from your own side of the field on the fourth quarter, up by 40. Like this, let's just get disrespectful this season. Let's get like y'all show the roast.
I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it because, you know, Mike Norvell is such a polite coach. He's such a respectful coach. I am 100% sure he went into the Louisville game with the thought that he was ranked 4 and all they needed to do was win.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's what I need. I need Mike to come out here. He needs to turn into Darth Vader. We need to get him to go from Anakin to Darth Vader right now and just start running down on everybody. That's what we need. And I think he
did the same thing at Florida too. I think he did the same thing at the Florida game. I think it was like a, you know, we are doing what we're doing and we are ranked where we're ranked. Let's just win in advance. That's kind of his thought. So, and I think it fooled him, and hopefully we get like a main mic this year because I'd love that.
I can't wait. I need him in the black shades. I need him in dark hoodies every game. I need him out there with all of it. I want him to be the most pissed off, angry, Like, I don't care. And be like, hey, what about sportsmanship? Hit them with the Michael Jordan hand.
Yeah, just run it up on Georgia Tech, chug a Guinness on the 50-yard line after the game, and slam the pint like Furrer did that bat against UConn the other day. I can't wait. I'm going out there. That's going to be a blast.
I can't wait. All right. Well, we ran down on everybody today. I do want to thank the chat for pulling up. Richie, tell us where everybody can find you.
Yeah, it's at _R_Barnes407 on the X/Twitter. But that's pretty much where the only social media I'm actively at. And then at Double Fries Pod, give us a like and subscribe, just like you should this channel right here. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all for having me. This was a lot of fun to just come here and talk some shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's so fun. We do it every Monday. So
pull up anytime you want to pull up. We running down on every ACC squad up until we get to game 1, where we're gonna go to Ireland and put an Irish ass whooping on Georgia Tech. So
that Miami couldn't do.
Anytime.
Yeah, we're bringing that shillelagh stick to them. Let's go.
What is wrong with both of y'all?
I don't know.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm the Tiny Hat CEO. That is my FSU Harley Quinn, Jen. And shout out to Richie Barnes for pulling up. This is the Renegade Roast. We will see y'all. Like, subscribe. We'll see y'all next week. Who we taking down next week?
I think
we bumped Syracuse. We bumped Syracuse. So who we running down on next week?
I think we have the Wild Ute. So I think we're gonna go with some teams that think they're gonna go to a certain conference that may not make it that way.
I love it. I love it when she teases me. All right, we're gonna have us a great time. All right, y'all. Renegade Tiny Hat Gang, we out.
First off, fuck Bama in the road tide. Fuck Tuscaloosa in every city that's close by. Bitch ass hill.